Okay, this is giving honor to Ralph Bunche. Ralph Bunche, libation for Ralph Bunche. And what was Ralph Bunche? For his grandson, Ralph Johnson Bunche, born August 7, 1904. He died December the 9th, 1971, was an American political scientist, academic, and diplomat who received the 1950 Nobel Peace Prize for his late 1940 mediation in Israel. He was the first African American to be so honored. He was involved in the formation and administration of the United Nations and played a major role in numerous peacekeeping operations sponsored by the UN. In 1963, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President John F. Kennedy. Bunche served on a U.S. delegation to both the Washington Conversations on International Peace and Security Organization in 1944 and United Nations Conference on International Organization in San Francisco in 1945 that drafted the UN Charter. Bunche served on the American delegation to the first session of the United Nations General Assembly in 1946. He then joined the UN as head of the trusteeship department and began a long series of troubleshooting roles. In 1948, he became an acting mediator for the Middle East, negotiating armistice between Egypt and Israel. For this success, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1950. He continued to serve at the United Nations, working on crises in the Sinai, 1956, the Congo, 1960, Yemen, 1963, Cyprus, 1964, and Bahrain in 1970. Reporting directly to the UN Secretary General, he also chaired study groups dealing with water resources in the Middle East. In 1957, he was promoted to Undersecretary for Special Political Affairs, having prime responsibility for peacekeeping roles. In 1965, he supervised the ceasefire following the war between India and Pakistan. He retired from the UN in 1971. Okay, so that was a reading about Ralph Bunche, the great diplomat, the peacekeeper. And remember, he was keeping all that peace for the United States and all these other countries, while black people in the U.S. was catching hell. So he was keeping peace between those different white nations or non-black nations. For that, they rewarded him, and he deserved the reward. He was a great peacekeeper and a diplomat. But that was their fear if they wanted to kill each other. But what did that do for black people? That I want to know.